Police just went past, or you missed it, YouTube. You missed it. See, for me, this is an investment in my health. I know people look at me and probably think, oh, why on earth is he doing that walk this time? But for me, it's either this or going back to the gym. And this is free, so I'm actually saving money by doing this. So, see, I usually have a strategy. When I'm doing things, I usually have a strategy of what I'm doing. When it comes to money and things, I always have a strategy. I'll say to myself, I think that's how I was brought up, to be honest. My mum never had any much money in the 90s, so I think that's how I was brought up. You know, it's like, yeah, that Ashley let me down again. Oh, I'm supposed to meet that Ashley today, but he let me down again. So I was not happy earlier. I was annoyed. But I still had a good evening. I went round to my friend Lee's and watched the new Batman film, 2022, with what's his name in it? Is it Robert Pattinson or something like that, from Twilight? So as I say, this is my oh, is that horses? Oh, horses there. So this is my strategy, as I say, because I don't want to die young, basically. My dad nearly did, and I don't want the same thing to happen to me. So there's no option of me just sitting down watching TV all night or all day. There's no option of that. The option is go to the gym, go back to the gym, do this walk. There's a second option. Or, yeah, I mean, that's the only real options, really, because whenever, yeah, but, yeah, I'm not very good with dieting, so these are the only options, really. And it's not really, people must be so lazy if they look at me and think, oh my god, what is he doing this walk? People must be so lazy. When you think, YouTube, that people in foreign countries walk days to try to get to freedom, all I'm doing is a half-an-hour walk. It's not gonna kill me. It's not a major thing. It's like the other day, I walked back from Worcester again, and my friend Lee was like, oh my god, you're walking back from Worcester? And I thought, yeah. I thought, what's wrong with that? And I think to myself, people in conflict zones walk for days sometimes. If you're gay and using Russia now, and there's no way out, you'd probably try to walk out, because all the stopping points are for cars and things like that. Cars, motorbikes, lorries. But if you know the border, if you know where the borders are, you can probably find a weakness in those borders and walk straight through the border. Might take you a couple of days or something, but it's worth it rather than be killed. And all I'm doing is a half-an-hour walk. You see the difference? You see the difference? This is what motivates me to do this walk. The thought of dying young, the thought of people in foreign countries being killed for being gay or something. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm walking 2.1 miles. It's not a major And I don't do it every day either. It's not a major thing. I do it a couple of times a week. I don't see it as a major thing, but people seem to see it as a major thing. It's more or less the same walk I used to do when I used to live by the Pillar of Salt at one time, about 10 years ago or something like that. Yeah, about 2013, something like that. And I used to walk from my mate Lee's at King's Court to the Pillar of Salt, and that was about the same walk. It was about half an hour walk as well. And no one looks funny at me then. The only difference is this is a main road. That's the only difference. But, oh yeah, I got my hair cut earlier. That's the only difference. But it's exactly the same. It's more or less the same in distance. It's more or less the same in walking. If you walk from one end of Droitwich to the other end, it's about the same. It's about 2 miles. Could even be just over 2 miles. I don't really see the big drama. I say that because I can hear people driving past. I can hear the thoughts in their head looking at me thinking, oh my god, he's walking. I think, yeah, people have been doing that for thousands of years. Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's why people, the lifespan's going to go down, I reckon. In decades to come, I reckon the lifespan's going to go down. As people rely on machines too much. Your body's designed for survival, it's not designed for... I see it in family members when they've got chest pains all the time. And I'm old, I'm not going to say who. And I'm older than her. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't get chest pains. And she's like, really? She's just like, you just drank nearly all that bottle and you don't get chest pains. I'm not, no. And I can eat a ton of chocolate as well. And I don't get chest pains. Because I know what I need to do to eradicate all that junk from my system. Walk. That's what people have been doing since the beginning of time. Walk. I recommend people do at least a 1 mile walk every day anyway. That's what it says when you look it up online, walking. It says the recommended amount is 1 mile a day. I don't do, well, no, I'm doing 2 miles, but I don't do it every day. Probably, I don't know. Probably about the same, probably, because I do it about 3-4 times a week, so probably about the same. About the same, I'd say. Yeah. 7 miles a week of walking. It's about how much I do, yeah. 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 Alright then, I'm going to stop whittering on now. I think I'm going to do my driving lessons in the new year again. I'm struggling on the theory, that's the trouble. The driving's not too bad. I mean, I can drive. I can drive all around Worcester even when it's busy. But it's the theory that's. See, I want to get perfect before I take the test. There's no point in me paying for the test unless I'm going to pass it. That's what he says as well, the driving instructor. He says there's no point. He says there's no point taking the test unless you're 100% confident that you can pass it, because you have to pay for it again, and it's about £70 each time. If you fail it the first time, you have to pay another £70 to do it the second time, and if you fail the second one, you have to pay another £70 for the third one. See what I mean? It's better to get all the questions, as many of the questions right. It's better to get as many of the questions right before actually doing the theory, because, you know, okay, I'm going to stop whittering on there. Oh. little bit out of breath, yeah. I've done 10 miles yesterday, so I'm doing quite well this week. Thanks to trains being on strike. You switch off after about half an hour walking anyway, I do. I just switch off and go somewhere else. I don't know where I go to, but after about an hour or so of walking, I switch off. By the time I got to Fernleaf, I'm not really aware of anything that's going on around me. I'm just focused. Well, I think my mind goes somewhere else. I don't know where it goes to, but... Alright then, peace, love and blessings everyone. Peace, love and blessings, peace, love and blessings.